Green flag in the air, let's get our show on the road. 3 hours worth of racing, we are green. As the cars will come down in towards one for the first time. Paddock Hill Bend, the question will be, will they all survive it? The answer is going to be, at the front of your field, most definitely so.
Now Bono, who he's trying to show his class, the promise that has been expected of him, and a little bit of a wide line taken there into the corner for Jeremy Bouteloup. Of course, ever a brilliant driver in his own right, but now you can see down his back straight away. Now here's the advantage where Bono, who he has in the team red line green, he's got a car with better top speed compared to the cars behind him of the BMWs, and there you can see Rens Broekman had a little bit of a look, Will, but not quite close enough.
No, it's not, and it's worth noting that these three cars seem to be very closely matched in pace.
Jeremy Bouteloup out there in front is the only car with that clean air. You see him running away. However, Rens Broekman, he also has dirty air. He's maintaining that gap to Bono Huiz in that red line green car much better than Bono's been able to maintain that gap onto the Radicals Online Steel Series BMW of Bouteloup.
And fantastic level of consistency from Jeremy Bouteloup right now, and it's been enough to open 1.2 seconds at the moment, Will. It's enough to say Bouteloup doesn't really have to worry at the moment. Potentially, it's a little bit aesthetic.
We saw a bit of maybe team orders happen at the 6 hours of Spa when the NX Racing red car, I mean, they went from third to first in basically a lap, and the blue and yellow cars essentially gave way. And hey, look, there it's happening already again. Now, how quickly can Voss close in on the back of that NX Racing yellow car? With the team change, with Isaac Price being out at NX Racing red, Jake Segwick coming in, going to be taking command of that second driver's slot. How competitive are that going to be? Is the NX Racing yellow car, will they be flying the NX flag for the rest of this championship? Or is it going to be red? Will Jake be able to maintain that pace? Will he still be as competitive as Isaac was? We'll find out probably in your final stint of this race today.
This is the problem that you have here in racing. If you're going to be in the middle of a sandwich, if you start attacking, you now have to start defending, because now you can see Joni Tamala in that NX Racing red car now starting to hound the breath, starting to just be breathing heavy on the back of NX Racing yellow. They're in a really difficult position, but NX Racing red, they're going to be start thinking, you know what, I need my hurry up. I know I'm quicker, I know I can catch, but catching's one thing, passing's another, and especially with the pit stop window coming in about 10 minutes time, Randy, maybe people are gearing up to maybe get that first driver change done.
I think the longest we've seen is actually Rens throwing up the inside in corner number one. Bonnie Huiz, team red line green, defending on the outside. If Rens can hold it here, he's going to have the line going up into Druids. We've seen so many historical passes here, but Bono shuts the door. No, not quite. Rens stays there on the inside as they work through Druids. We've seen so many famous passes there of teams going up on the inside and coming out ahead as they cross through the trees. Rens there, though, not able to get it done. He's flashing the lights. I think he's a little irritated at that red line green car. I think Rens has pace. I think red line's holding him up.
Here comes Rens Broekman to the outside. Nothing, but this is way too close, and Rens Broekman goes off. Oh, he is put out there! Round the Steel Series car is off the racetrack. Sylvian Pomerade there gets together the 18 machine, and that is a big incident, just like at Spa at the end of the
Rens is
first
off again.
hour.
Rens has damage.
Huge issue. Broekman is off. Broekman's championship, I would say, at this stage, is done.
I think he was maybe just mentally irritated at himself having that little incident. It wasn't the dirtiest move ever. Rens just pushed himself too hard, got himself off the track, and when he tried to get back on the track, that back end just kicked out, and he unfortunately got into that Radical Steel Series car. It's an uncharacteristic mistake from Rens Broekman, although we've seen him have similar incidents before. Remember last year's 24 Hours at Daytona, where he famously flipped over the Glacier Racing prototype going into your International Horseshoe. So Rens isn't flawless in this machine. Will Fred Rasmussen be able to make a move here? The top speed disadvantage is going to be impeccable, though, as Fred thinking about making a move. You have two of the most aggressive drivers in this series of Jesus Cecilia and Fred Rasmussen now through Hawthorne's Bend up towards Dingle Dell, and Fred is going to throw it up the inside. We've seen it fail here a couple times already. Look how much Fred has to check up there. 3 cars all going for the same position. A great move by Fred. I think he's going to get the pass done. Can Rens slip by?
Oh my word, look at Rens Broekman.
He's trying so hard, but he's going to have to keep it there side by side through Stones. Still, they're going to go nose to tail. They almost touch as they head themselves down to the next corner, the next one, the right-hander of Clearways, and now the position, surely now Rens Broekman's, and yes, it is.
On board them, but we know it's Sean Jens.
Jesus! Koenig gets spun around.
Riding on board with a happy face of Bjorn Jens, but the happy face will now be a sad face, and here is the reason why. Down in towards turn number 2, Here's a Cecilia late on the brakes, and well, I'm going to call that a dive bomb.
I would call that incredibly dirty, and I think Jesus Cecilia and Dark Indigo Racing Team have to be penalized for that at some point, either in this race or the rest of the championship. He just almost stupidly throws it up the inside going into 2 here at Brands Hatch on one of your championship contenders. Just for someone with as much pace as Jesus, someone with a real-world drive, he needs to drive much more contained than that. That was just overly aggressive and frankly silly.
Here we go. Core Motorsports to the outside versus Dark Indigo. And the winner this time by Core Motorsports holds the inside line, outside line. He's going to duck it down to the inside. He should get the inside line. Oh my word, not again! He's down in the center of the racetrack. He turns into the corner and he clips that curb a little bit. And I actually have to say, that number 33 machine just seems to have rubbed that curb a little bit too much. Let's all pay tribute to a moment from Max Backen, because he has worked through this traffic magnificently so far.
Yes, that's a real good work ethic here that the Radicals Online Steel Series car has really put in. Led from the front right now, has themselves a gap of about 7 seconds here at the front of the field.
So this is then heading themselves down. You can see a bit of a wiggle from the first place there from the Team Redline car. Then into the corner, Team Redline Red looks to the inside. Green came down on red there. Team Redline Green, by my view, Randy, came down on NX Racing Red. Now is your chance to go. Now is the time. You have to go, because the gap from P3 to P2 has extended up to 7.1 seconds, and there's traffic in the way as well. We're down to the inside, and he's going to make the pass, or will he? As they go for one, they make contact. Oh my word, red light versus NX Racing. They drift it, they save it. It's fantastic. But now, who will get the pass into Druid? NX Racing inside line, outside line. It's Fnatic, Team Redline, and NX have the pass.
Looking at Koena Sinsport, skipping tires 2 races out of 4, and in one of them it gets them a win, and in the second one it gets them up to 2nd place. I think if you're every other team, you really have to evaluate in your testing phase about whether or not taking tires on that last stop is actually faster. Yes, it might be on paper, but in terms of track position, maybe not.
Time is up. White flag is out. Final corner for Matt Backham, and Radicals Online will win round number 4 of the Blancpain GT Series here on Racebot TV. And then Koena Simsport, a magical display of strategy. They salvage what was going to be the end of their championship to take 2nd. Winning on the back, NX Racing Yellow keeps themselves in the championship by claiming 3rd